I've drawn a few curves here and notice that these curves on this side belong to a family that we call polygons, and these curves here don't belong to that family. Now, why should some curves belong to this family and some not belong? To belong to this family, you have to follow some rules. Now, what I want you to do is just by looking at some members of this family. These curves are all members of this family. These curves are all not members of this family. Looking at these two, can you guess what those rules are? So we spent a little bit of time thinking about it. You would have guessed, okay, one of the rules could be that all these curves only have straight line segments in them. There are no bent lines like these in these. So maybe that's a rule. The rule is that made of just line segments. Maybe that's the rule. But is that the only rule? Because if that's the only rule, then this should be part of the family called polygons, because it's only made of line segments. This should be a part of this family called polygons because it has only line segments. So is this. Okay, so maybe there are more rules that we don't know. Maybe this is one rule. Let's keep it here. What's the other rule that's possible? So I look here and this is not part of the family, but this is. And there's a very small difference between the two. And that is that this is open and this is closed. And then I notice that, okay, all of these are closed, which means they have an inside and an outside, what we call the interior region and the exterior region. So then I guess that, okay, the other rule that, the members should follow of this family, that they should be closed. So if you are a curve, you should be closed and also made of only line segments. Then you'll belong to this family called polygons. Because if it's only closed, I know that a circle would be part of this family, but circle is not part of the family. If it's only closed, then this will also be a part, this will also be a part, but we know these are all not part of this family called polygons. So, but if I take both of these, closed and made of just line segments, then I can see that, okay, this is closed, made of only line segments, this is closed, made of only line segments. So maybe these two are the only rules, but then I come here, I see this, okay, this is made of only line segments, and it is closed. There is a region inside and then there is a region outside. So is this is kind of closed. So what's going on? There's one more small rule that we need, that the curve needs to be what we call simple. Now if you remember, a simple curve is just one where if you take a corner like this, you'll only have two lines leaving from there. You'll never have three or more. Over here again, if you notice, there are three lines leaving from this place. So it's not a simple curve. But if you notice here, all the corners have only a maximum of two lines leaving from them. And in fact, they'll always have two lines because they have to be closed. So you look at all of them, there'll only be two lines leaving. In other words, you'll never have two regions like this. You'll only have one region. So now I know that as long as a curve follows these three rules, it can be a member of this family that we call polygons. Simple, closed, and made up of just straight line segments.